This is it, where you want to be, right at the starting line as we begin a brand new season of the 2015 Bassmaster Elite Series. 100-plus guys out there, each with one thought in their mind. Why not me this year? Why can't this be my year? Welcome to the Toyota Bassmaster Studios. I'm Tommy Sanders here with Mark Zona. Why not me? Why not for each one of these guys?
Well, let's talk about the Sabine River, man. This is an intimidating body of water. And not only that, this is a fragile event. What I mean by that is, when you decide where you're heading in the morning, we're going to take a look at our Yamaha Unlock the Lake. It is going to seal your fate for the tournament. And we're going to take off in Orange, Texas. Tommy, read that right there, how much
1 million square acres of fishable water. We never see that.
And we have some anglers that are making 200-mile runs over to Houston. Some anglers only fishing a quarter mile from our takeoff.
What a challenge for these guys. Another challenge. We found out about it the last time we were here 2 years ago. The people of Orange, Texas challenged themselves, just about everyone who lives in town, to come out for the weigh-in. Tremendous crowds. We got that going again as we take you to the weigh-in on day number 1.
And how about your 2013 Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Aaron Martin's very solid first day of the tournament, 13 pounds and 14 ounces.
Yeah, he started that campaign back in 2013 right here, and it did not start well. Much better go around this time. Terry Scroggins, grass fisherman from down there in Florida. Look at that opening shot. Terry Scroggins, grass fisherman from Palatka, Florida, 15 pounds, 2 ounces, including the Bass Pro Shop's big bass of the tournament at 6 pounds and 10 ounces.
How about Chris Lane coming out of nowhere yet again? Gunnersville, Alabama, our leader after day 1, 15 pounds and 10 ounces.
And look at this start to day number 2. As we've had every day, a fog delay to begin this tournament. It's very, very humid, juicy weather.
Scary.
Very electric down here in South Texas. It is a challenging weekend weather-wise.
Exactly right. It's almost kind of ominous looking, too. Good way to put things. A lot of these anglers, though, they're making very long runs, whether they're going an hour out east, 2 hours, some of our anglers heading west. This will definitely cut into their day of fishing.
Looking at about 9:30 right now, I guess, and we still haven't left yet. Still under a fog delay, but I think we're going to be going here in a little bit. Main thing today is put 5 fish in the boat. Had a great day yesterday, and see if we can't maybe step it up a little bit today.
Leader Chris Lane talking about the plan for the day, and you mentioned these guys going in different directions. Chris Lane, one of these guys, is going south and west about 40 minutes away.
Exactly, and the great thing about where Chris Lane is fishing, compared to the last time we were here, this area was pounded by storms 2 years ago, and really, the fish were just not that big. A lot of 10 to 13-inch bass. This time around, it's a different situation, but these guys aren't catching 30 or 40 keepers a day. Every 14-inch bass is going to count.
You know, one thing about it is on a day like today, you know, we even got less fishing time than we did yesterday. You get stuff rolling through your mind of, oh wait, are they there? Are they there? Do you need to be here? And what we really need to do is just slow down, focus on what we're doing, and hit every spot thorough. Go, big one, right there, big. Stay on, baby. Baby.
You heard Chris work over every little spot with care in this little tiny branch of a creek that's only 20 feet across.
Here's the deal with Taylor's Bayou. It's a sanctuary. These fish are born here, they live here, they never leave. They're surrounded by salt water, very heavy river current. The main key in here is the stability and the cleaner water.
Whoa, baby! Take that one, huh?
Boy, if you can catch them, 14-inch length limit, 3-pounders are like gold in this tournament right here as we take you right to the weigh-in on day number 2. And look who's jumping into the mix. Grigsby likes to get an early start on these seasons. He takes over 3rd place.
Fishing about 100 yards from Grigsby, none other than Aaron Martins. Another solid day. 2nd place, 25 pounds, 14 ounces.
Chris Lane with that impressive day 1 adds another 5-fish limit. Good shape for him. Chris Lane still on top with 12 pounds and 13 ounces. Plenty more fishing yet to come, plenty more weather on the way. We'll get into day 3 when we come back.
The Bassmaster Elite Series at Sabine River, presented by Stark Cultural Venues, is brought to you by Toyota. Bass Pro Shops. Berkeley. Evan Williams Bourbon.
Moments away from takeoff here at the first Bassmaster Elite Series of the season here in Orange, Texas. It's often been rumored that nothing rhymes with the word orange, but that's simply not true. Of course, there's sporange, a sack of spores, and my favorite mountain in Wales, blorange. We decided to ask our Elite Series pros what they think rhymes with orange. What rhymes with orange?
Can't come up with it. With an orange?
Yes.
Oranges.
Oranges. Oh, Lord. The word orange.
Apple.
What rhymes with the word orange?
Nothing.
Rhymes with the word orange is spaborange, which is a new color of a havoc bait I designed in Devil Spear. It happens to be the bait I'm throwing out here, spaborange.
But this is the most ridiculous. That is one of the words that actually, there's two words in the dictionary. Sporange, a sack of spores.
Yes, a sporange.
Good stuff right there.
Dave Mercer taking our anglers to the limit right there with his 6 seconds run. There's our leaderboard as we start day number 3. Chris Lane in charge, but not a huge margin. Aaron Martins and Shaw Grigsby popping in there to round out our top 3. As we take a look at our launch there in Orange, Texas. About a 40-minute delay again due to fog.
Not a very bad delay. Weather is starting to set in, and Chris Lane is fishing a very specific area, fishing out pump pipes that push fresh water into these canals. He said almost all of his keepers have come right here.
I don't know if you can see it with the camera, but the transition line from, this is fairly clear, but that's real clear because of all these ditches back behind it. These are open just a little bit. Maybe it's got a leak in it or something. There's a couple more like this, but they've been closed or they're not leaking anymore. This rain might be a blessing, but these fish will stack up in that clear water, especially when it's dirty like this. There's a good one, big one. Big. Yes! We'll take him. I think we got number 1. Oh yeah, 16-incher. Big old fat, healthy fish. I don't know about y'all, but let's try it again.
Chris Lane emphasizing the importance of just a tiny difference in water clarity, and he cashes in a great keeper to start his day. Over to Shaw Grigsby, starting his day in 3rd place as this rain starts to set in and the weather map has it going all day.
Well, this is, in Florida, we call this liquid sunshine, but here, no sunshine at all. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. All right, here we go. Got him. Good one, too. Yeah, look at this. Boom, yeah. Come on with it. Yes. Yes. Look at this. Look at this. You think we got any water down here? I could just leave him in the bottom of the boat and he could go swimming. That's what I'm talking about, baby, right there. That's a toad here on the river.
Solid 4-pound fish right there for Shaw Grigsby, a game changer in the Sabine River. Shaw Grigsby and every angler having to deal with one of the biggest storms we've ever seen. Well, and some anglers that didn't make it to today, they're having to deal with it too, Tommy.
I got him! I got him!
I'm sorry, that is absolutely disgusting.
Just a little bit. And guess what? Plenty more rain is on the way. It's backed up all the way to Corpus Christi. Day 3 is going to be tough. There it is if you like it. There it is if you don't. That's what day 3 looks like here. Solid rain, and for Aaron Martin, compounding his problems, some trouble getting to his spot early, and he needed to do that.
Definitely had some electrical issues early this morning. Lost another 45 minutes of fishing getting there, and you're really starting to get a gauge of how many people are in Taylor's Bayou. Looking at that, you have spectators, you have other leaders in the area. Aaron Martin said the key was getting in here and just slowing down. Aaron Martin's losing some precious time this morning. Every keeper will count on day number 3 for Martins.
That's a getting ready to be a hog snatcher. 2.5. Hog snatcher. Watch out, it's slick. It has to be barefoot. Hog snatcher.
I'm sorry, that is so awesome.
Finally, something good happening in this day 3 for Aaron Martin. Started this day a couple of pounds behind, couple of pounds and change behind our leader here, Chris Lane, trying to hang on to that lead. He's had a good start to his day.
Yeah, fishing the phosphate pits in Florida, you know, same, straight canals, got some pipes pushing in water, sucking out water. You got all kinds of stuff. Cattails, hyacinths, pennyworts, you got it all in there. Alligators, got plenty of those out there. So, you know, and then fishing it a lot like Okeechobee too. You got buggy whips, you know, in some of these ponds. And when they push up, when you start to see them move, you know, you can pick up a bait and go at it and try to figure it out. God!
Powell means a good keeper right there, of course, for Chris Lane. He's got a couple of good ones in the box right there. And over to Todd Faircloth. If anyone's a hometown favorite around here, it's Todd Faircloth.
No doubt about it. Sitting the soaking rain, and things were good the last time we were here in 2013. Todd Faircloth really had the whole area to himself. He was only fishing a mile away from where he's at this year. He said, though, the problem this year, a lot of that mud was shifting around, and you had to find that cleaner water. And you have to ask yourself, all these keepers that these guys are catching here on day number 3, this is not a big area. This is only about a 1.5 mile stretch. All of these anglers really kind of cramped in. Will this beating, will this throttling start to take his toll? Well, Dave Mercer's on the water, and he's going to give us his thoughts.
You got Todd Faircloth, Shaw Grigsby, Aaron Martins, all in this one area. And the first thing that I noticed, the first thing that I find most amazing is the way these guys are fishing and just how painstakingly slow they are fishing. Put a timer on Todd Faircloth just a second ago. It is a minimum of 30 seconds he's soaking that bait. Now, I know these guys are fishing bedding fish, but that isn't when they're on a bed. I mean, they're leaving that bait sit there for an incredibly long time. A minimum of 30 seconds, sometimes up to 1.5 minutes. And then when they find a fish, they find a bed, they slow down a little bit more. So slow is the key here today. Painstakingly slow, just leaving that bait and shaking it, trying to get a reaction out of those bedding fish.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Wow, another good one.
Critical bass right there for Shaw Grigsby. If you look at that water starting to get muddy, that will play a huge toll on day number 4. But Shaw Grigsby hanging in there, 3rd place, 36 pounds even.
Shaw Grigsby doing himself a lot of good, putting himself 4 pounds ahead of the rest of the field. Aaron Martin's maintaining the 2nd spot as well. With 11 pounds and 11 ounces, he's poised to take the win. And Chris Lane going into the final day, got a 2-pound, 1-ounce lead. Can't do much better than that on the Sabine.
It's going to be an all-out war tomorrow. That's all I got to say. Just glad to be here. And you guys that came out in this rain, you know what? Thanks, because you guys are, hey, you guys did it. We did it all day.
Hardcore fans and the anglers, everyone else looking for a better day tomorrow. But make no mistake about it, all that rain has changed the character of the Sabine.
You look at this rain, you look at the flash flood warnings we've had, as much rain as we've had, that mud is coming. The water's rising in these areas where we were catching fish. Might not even get a bite tomorrow.
The Bassmaster Elite Series at Sabine River, presented by Stark Cultural Venues, is brought to you by GoPro, Humminbird, Mercury. And by Minn Kota. Be sure to send in your catch to Bassmaster.com/catch or #BigCatchContest.
12 anglers left on the final day on the Sabine River system. There's your leaderboard. Chris Lane with just over a 2-pound lead. Aaron Martin, Shaw Grigsby, Mike McClelland, Rook, Faircloth, all still in the hunt right here. Anything can happen on this final day, and for the first time, no fog delay.
Well, and the other side of this is that water is going to rise so much right now, and the key is finding that clean water. One angler we're watching that's making a huge run, basically outrunning the storm, is Mike McClelland.
Day 4 here at the Sabine River, and I'm making a 114-mile one-way run, and it's a mental thing. You know, at this point, after making this run for 3 straight days, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm aching today. I mean, yesterday, the bay was really, really rough, and I thought today if I had somewhere else to go, I'd go, but I really don't have any other choice.
Really, Mike McClelland in this tournament right now is the X factor, going almost all the way to Houston. He's in an area all by himself, not cramped in like our leaders. And really something interesting this morning is Chris Lane has been going to Taylor's Bayou the entire event every single morning. Well, he caught a few late fish just only a mile away from our takeoff here on Orange on day number 3. Chris Lane scrapping Taylor's at least early this morning, starting very close.
Heading out. You know, we caught 2 fish yesterday right here in this little inlet. We're going to hit it, make 10, 15 casts, 20 casts. If we catch a fish, great. If we don't, hey, off to the next spot where we've been starting. You know, it's one of those things where you got to make a decision, and it's the last day. Can't hold anything back today.
First call of the day for Chris Lane, and not only Chris Lane abandoning Taylor's Bayou in order to fish close. It's going to be Chris Lane and Aaron Martins as well. Both of these guys headed for just about the same spot, as you say, a mile and a quarter away from our takeoff there. Now, is anyone home to take care of Taylor's? Oh, yes.
Oh,
plenty
yeah.
of folks in Taylor's.
There's plenty of our leaders in Taylor's. Take a look at Shaw Grigsby, Scott Rook, rookie Micah Frazier, and Brandon Lester. You know, about 41.5 miles from there. Let's take a look at how far Mike McClelland is running. Has to go all the way through Galveston Bay to get in his little canal that he's focused on all week. 110 miles from our takeoff.
And he will have the luxury of being able to fish 4 hours or maybe even more. He's gone there on
longest day yet.
Yeah, it's the longest day yet. He's fished 1 hour and 10 minutes there with these fog delays earlier in the week.
Aaron Martin said he did not want to start here, but there are a lot of released fish in this area. Aaron Martin's very close to Orange, Texas.
We're going to go catch retreads because everybody else is doing it, and I don't want to, but there's all these stories of guys smashing fish as they come in, and big bags and stuff, 15 pounds. It's all right here. And what happened? All these fish are let go here. I hate doing it, but we're gonna do it. Sorry, fishy. At least the floor is wet. That should be a keeper. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a big one there. Look at that one. Woohoo. No, it's a start.
Aaron Martin, the rest of these guys trying to figure out just what they're dealing with today. It's a different piece of water.
Aaron Martin's with a real fast keeper, and over to Chris Lane, who's only about a quarter mile down from Martin's. Take a look at that watercolor. Something in Chris Lane's mind, he is not liking what he's seeing.
All right, one more cast. One more cast. Maybe it's just an afternoon deal for us. All right, 40 miles the other way. Okay. Yeah.
You moving?
Yep.
Well, the experiment is over quickly for Chris Lane. You got to think Chris Lane and Aaron Martin's just happy to have some alternative to what they've been doing, because this place obviously looks a lot different.
Hard to be the leader and not go to your primary spot. Chris Lane going to head there right now. And just around the corner from him is Scott Rook. And Scott Rook is fishing one of the more main arteries in Taylor's Bayou. Scott Rook gets to his area, it is finished. I mean, trash, rolling, dirty mud.
You know, you either bail out and go try something different or stay in here and zero. You know, and I can see right now it's not going to happen in here. I mean, those guys in the dead-end canals, they have a lot better chance than I do because they don't have all this current in there. Yeah, their water got muddy and the water level came up, but it's not blasting current on everything that the fish are trying to spawn on. And I might not catch anything moving, but I certainly got to try. I don't want to stay in here and just try to catch a fish, you know. I want to try to move up in the standings.
Scott Rook would need a massive day in order to contend for the lead, and certainly it's not going to happen there. Back over now to Shaw Grigsby in good position at third place to start the day.
Well, this is a different Taylor's Bayou. You heard from Scott Rook, his area is basically blown out, but you know, Shaw's fishing more of a dead-end canal deal. The water's high and it's muddy, and really what that's going to do, it's going to open areas up. The key is just getting a bite to know they'll bite in this dirt.
Well, I can tell you today, you could get all the way back there. I've never been able to get my boat more than about, you know, just 30 yards right there because it's so shallow and muddy. But today I could go all the way back in that creek in the back, no problem. We could go explore. The only thing is they're still biting out here, so I can't go explore unless you get a limit. Then you can go explore.
Shaw Grigsby talking about the limitations and the possibilities ahead of him. Back to Aaron Martins, who has not moved.
Hey, I'll tell you, Aaron Martins, that's one of the most, that's an amazing call to totally just bypass Taylor's. And Aaron Martins, you can tell he is going to live here all day.
I don't think we're going anywhere. No, there's a bunch of stuff right there. There's so many fish around here right now. Do you understand how many fish are, I wish they would have took those fish and dispersed them where nobody knew where they were at. So I think I'd have a really good chance. But since they're here now, there's so many fish here, it's ridiculous. A big old swirl. Yeah, I think we're gonna stay here. That's a pretty looking fish there too. I mean, that fish doesn't look like he's been caught.
Aaron Martins with reason number 2 to stay right where he's at. Every keeper going to be precious today. It's starting slower for everyone else.
Exactly right. And over to Chris Lane, and he said, look, this is going to be starting over, and just catching one 14-inch bass will be so huge. I said it with Shaw Grigsby. Just catching a keeper, knowing they'll still bite in here, will be key.
Good one. I think, baby. Yeah, that's a keeper. That's a keeper. I'm about 99% sure. Oh yeah, baby. Pow! All right, number 1. Pretty sure we're gonna put him on the board. You know, made a decision. Everything else was dirty. Oh yeah, number 1 right there. Got all day. Now we got 4 more to put in the box. 4 more. It's a good sign. All these hyacinths, you couldn't even fish all this before. So maybe this is some water that hadn't been touched by us yet. Woo! Takes your confidence from this to pow!
More pow. That's exactly what Chris Lane needs if he wants to maintain that lead and bring home the win here. Meanwhile, Aaron Martins nibbling into that lead a little bit, getting some success there. Not too far from our takeoff here, and we expect maybe he'll be there all day long. Meanwhile, another one of our anglers has yet to reach his first spot. Mike McClelland, who's been making this run 2 hours each way, each and every day of this tournament.
Well, the run is the most brutal part of the whole deal. I mean, when you leave here in the morning, you have got to commit yourself to 2 hours of solid running before you ever make a cast. That involves stopping, getting fuel. Just trying to stay composed is probably the biggest feat that you have to overcome when you run like that. I mean, it's literally 2 hours before I take the first rod out and make my first cast. These idle zones kill you, man. I mean, if I didn't have these idle zones, I could pick up 40, 50 minutes a day fishing, but the rules are the rules, man. You got to follow them.
First event of 2015 for the Bassmaster Elite Series. Full name is the Bassmaster Elite Series at Sabine River, presented by Stark Cultural Venues. Stark Cultural Venues is our host here, and what a great force they are in this community of Orange, Texas. A lot to offer this community a lot of things that increase the quality of life in here. Museums, theaters, you know, everything. Gardens that are just gorgeous. They are really people who promote the community, and the community responds. The people turn out in Orange, Texas.
I love Orange, Texas, and somebody else that does is one Mike McClelland, who's making the longest run in this tournament. We're really going to follow his track from early this morning and really just how brutal this run has been all week long.
We're off! 2 hours from now, we'll make our first cast. I mean, it's just one of those deals you just got to bear down, sit back, enjoy the ride, and hope they're biting when we get there.
Well, by Mike McClelland's reckoning, at least 114 miles each way from the launch in Orange, Texas, through the canals into the intercoastal waterway, across Galveston Bay into one of the tributaries.
He said Mike McClelland is the filthy little lion hanging in the weeds that nobody's watching. Wait, what?
Full disclosure.
Exactly right.
Everything happens on a trip that long.
Not only that, Mike McClelland also having to make a gas stop every day of this trip.
Come on, pump, pump.
And still not there yet. It's all about the search for water he thinks is going to be of a better quality than back at the launch.
Like we said, he kind of outran the storm, and the key is getting to his area and just seeing the water color. If it's clear, Mike McClelland will catch him.
Take a deep breath, slow down, and go to catching them. There we go, yes! Yes! They're gonna bite. Just gotta be patient with them. That's number one. Woo!
That right there, the feedback that he wanted. Mike McClelland over to Chris Lane.
Have to find some clear water. He might be making a run 30 miles, 40 miles back to the Sabine River where we started this morning. Water looked good in there, so we'll see.
Take a look now and see how different this spot looked. We saw him fishing in there yesterday. Looks completely different today. Not only the rains, but a huge surge of water already headed down the Sabine.
Yeah, it looks a lot different. This was really predominantly stable and clear water. And Chris Lane said one of the keys in here, there's a lot of fish still spawning, a lot of cruising fish in here. He said it was best at low tide, and well, you are not going to see that today. That water continues to rise. Take a look at our skeeter boats taste the bait. Really what Chris Lane did earlier in this event with these outflow pipes, it was just pushing in fresh, clearer, stable water. And he's throwing a Lucky Strike drop dead craw. And all of our anglers in Taylor's Bayou are using small weights. 3/16, a heavy weight has been 5/16. Very, very light weights. Whether they're spawning fish, cruising fish, Chris Lane said you had to soak your bait in there for a long time. That's when one would bite it. And really, so far today, well, Chris Lane needs a keeper in a big way. Only one in the boat.
I think he'll make it. I think he'll make it. I want to catch one that goes pow! Oh yeah, right over the line. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. There's two. Just by the hair of this chinny chin chin.
14 inches is 14 inches, but that's what they got to be a keeper here. The man who's found the most of them on this fourth and final day, second-year man from Tennessee, Brandon Lester.
Found him in a fun way, too. Has really been throwing a frog the entire event. Throwing a black frog. He said every single night he felt these little shoreline canals would reload. No doubt these fish were spawning. 17 out of 18 bass that Lester put on the scales came on a frog.
Only man with a limit. Brandon Lester moving from 8th place all the way into the top 4. Scott Rook, we saw him earlier. His place from the first 3 days, gone, destroyed. Leaving Taylor Bayou, heading back near the launch in Orange, Texas.
I'm in the Sabine River now. I moved just above takeoff spot in the Sabine. I knew yesterday afternoon when that water came up, my area over there was going to be done. I had to go over and check it because that's really all I had. And I had a few bites up through here, but I wasn't going to catch anything over there. I had to go somewhere. Back of there, Chief. Keeper. Two-pounder. Well, my move paid off.
Not clean water, but cleaner than where he came from. Scott Rook over to Shaw Grigsby.
Shaw Grigsby found a little pocket of clean water, but it's been his slowest day by far fishing in Taylor's Bayou, looking for anything to bite.
I caught 2 real nice ones here on my frog, sexy frog in practice. Had one right there. And then I had a bunch of them down that chute that's now got the cleaner water going down it, which is nice. So maybe we'll pull in there and catch us some. Come on. I'll take him. No! 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 Oh, well, sometimes it just ain't missed me. Thought I had him too, man. Pretty good reflexes for an old guy. I'll take him. No! No! Yeah, may have broke a couple rods. Dadgummit.
Let's be honest here. Keepers are hard enough to come by even on a great day down here. It's a challenging place, and on this day, they've been so hard to come by. For this to happen is just painful to watch.
It is the Evan Williams bourbon shot of the day. Tommy Sanders, week. Really, we have seen this a few times.
Yeah, we have.
In the Bassmaster Elite Series. Shaw Grigsby, one of the best anglers in a tough event. Well, like you said, it were a 15-inch bass, so hard to come by. That one is going to cost you.
Yeah, Shaw was right. Hey, for an old guy, full layout position and nothing flat right there. He gave it his best. Hats off, Shaw. You did your best. Now back to Mike McClelland doing his best to get something started here. Already got a keeper in the boat looking for number 2.
Really, Mike McClelland is only fishing 2 canals. He said he's going to live and die with these canals. Now, the water's high, but it is still stable in his area.
That should be number 2.
Don't think of Mike McClelland as being behind everyone else. He's really just started fishing, so 2 keepers at this point is a pretty good pace.
And the scary thing, Mike McClelland, a lot more time to fish today than earlier in the week. Over to Aaron Martins, who really, earlier this morning, was probably leading for the first 10 minutes of the tournament. Aaron Martins, one of the boldest calls not to go back to Taylor's Bayou.
I bet I was leading it for a while this morning now. So I pulled up and caught those. I don't think Chris caught me in that corner. I know I caught 2 right away. So I actually took the lead for a while. I was right about that one.
Just going in this next one. I got 2.
It's amazing for people in the wilderness of Taylor's Bayou. We have Mike McClelland here in this maze of swimming pools, backyards, and decks.
It really looks like Mike McClelland is fishing in a different tournament, seriously. Yeah. And really, the majority of these fish are fry garters. They are done spawning. He said he could see a lot of fry in this area, and these are the 2 canals he's been in.
Last year, there were a bunch of these palm leaves just laying scattered out back in here, and they were spawning all over them last year. And this year, they haven't. I guess they just haven't cleaned their yards out and thrown them in here, but it really kind of stinks that there's not more of them in here than there are. So they're almost a guaranteed bite if you can find one of those laying in the water. Come out of there, baby. Come on. Yes! Yes! Got it good.
You called him the X Factor, and Mike McClelland right there, good keeper, and he's right on track to become a part of the conversation for winning this tournament.
Take a look at Chris Lane right now, giving up on Taylor's Bayou, the place that put him in the lead. Chris Lane going to come back to where he started today, only about a mile and a half from Orange, Texas. Chris Lane needs a keeper in a big way.
There he is, right there. Good one. Good one. Stay on, baby. Thank you, Lord. Oh, we're gonna catch some more out of that tree. See, the thing about this now, is I know the water clarity's good. You know, if we can catch it on just the right tide, you know, like we did yesterday, and go wham, wham, that changes the whole deal right there.
Right there's about the biggest call of the entire tournament for Chris Lane.
Well, 2 keepers in the boat. He makes that call. He doesn't have much time left in his day. He's starting to make it happen. But Mike McClelland, again, he's got the vagaries, the uncertainties of a 2-hour run, but he's catching them down south in Houston.
The Bassmaster Elite Series at Sabine River, presented by Stark Cultural Venues, is brought to you by Nitro, Skeeter Boats, Triton Boats, and by Yamaha.
Final moments now here on the Sabine River. Don't miss Bassmaster.com. It's Bassmaster Live, presented by Lowrance. Every Saturday and Sunday, day 3 and 4 of every Bassmaster Elite event, we give you 4 hours of live coverage. You will be there out with these anglers on the water. If you were with Mike McClelland on this day, you'd know that things were getting tight. 35 minutes left to fish before a 2-hour run, still trying to make out that limit.
Yes! Woo! Woo! That's the kind we need right there. Absolutely. Woo! Yes, baby, yes. No doubt about it. That's number 5, right? Number 5.
Mike McClelland filling out that limit with a good bit of drama there. A good keeper there. Little time left to fish before he has to leave, and catches fish number 6, keeper number 6, which allows him a small upgrade. But then he is out of time. So Mike McClelland has to get things battened down and get ready for a 2-hour run.
Hey, he has done his job in a big way. He's going to have a pretty nice run back today. Really, as of right now, Mike McClelland is the leader of this event. McClelland getting over to Houston, getting the job done, just needs to make it back to weigh-in safely. Now over to Chris Lane, who's had a very, very slow day fishing just outside of Orange, Texas. Every 14-incher will count for Chris Lane from here on out. Like we said, unofficially, Mike McClelland is in the lead right now.
Oh, come on, baby, make it. Make it. Yeah, oh yeah. Pow! Let's go, baby. You know, it's all about it's the last bait I got of this live motion crawl. That log came all the way out, and I was like, I'm gonna hop that all the way down the log. Don't. Oh, thank you, Lord. One more. Gotta catch another one. We gotta catch another one.
Not much time left, and one more needed for a limit for Chris Lane. Same deal for Shaw Grigsby, who's been very slow today.
35. Few more minutes. And it's all over. Get in the boat, Bobby. And is he gonna keep? We'll check it out in just a second. It looks like we may have number 2. Check him. Oh my goodness. Yes. Number 2. I'm not even gonna check. Throw him in there. That's the way. Never quit. Never quit. Just keep it going. I said, is that really a bite? No, it couldn't be a bite. Yeah, it was. Come on with it. Is this awesome?
No quitting in it for Shaw Grigsby. He's going to keep fishing on. Meanwhile, over to Chris Lane. One more to a limit, and this is a fish that Chris Lane desperately needs.
It's all about the decisions. Could be number 5 right there. One more keeper and that might be 100 grand. Big, big. This is it. Stay on, you son of a gun. Yeah, baby, pow! Bam! Look at there. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Oh, I put my power poles down.
Biggest call of the tournament, leaving him enough time to come back and fill a limit out near Orange.
2 fish in his boat. Mike McClelland having run him down from long distance. 2 hours away, and Chris Lane makes that call, fills out his limit. The crowd, meanwhile, gathered here in Orange, Texas. Get it started with Brandon Lester on stage.
12 pounds, 8 ounces. Brandon Lester now takes the lead. Get loud from Little Rock, Arkansas, Scott Rook. Looking for 10 pounds and 5 ounces to take the lead. 4 pounds and 14 ounces. Scott Rook moves into 5th place, and Brandon Lester remains in the lead. This week, he's done something that many people thought was impossible. Made an incredible, gutsy run. Went a long, long way from here. Get loud from Bella Vista, Arkansas, Mike McClelland. You guys left the dock this morning at 7:25, made his first cast at almost 10 o'clock. That's how far he ran. 32 pounds, 15 ounces, needs 10.4. 13 pounds and an ounce. 13 pounds and an ounce, and Mike McClelland takes the lead. This one, a 9-time Bassmaster winner from Gainesville, Florida. Oh golly, it's Shaw Grigsby! Looking for 10 pounds and an ounce. 3 pounds, 9 ounces. Shaw Grigsby not gonna take the lead, but let's hear it for Shaw Grigsby, truly a legend in this sport. He is a 6-time Bassmaster winner from Leeds, Alabama. Give me a little love for Aaron Martins. He's got 4 fish, needs 8 pounds, 8 ounces to take the lead. 6 pounds, 15 ounces. Aaron Martins moves into 2nd place. He is a 6-time Bassmaster winner, the 2013 Bassmaster Classic champion from Guntersville, Alabama. The champ is here, Chris Lane. So one of these guys is going to taste a victory in just a few seconds. 39 pounds and 10 ounces. He needs 6 pounds, 7 ounces to take the win. On one of the toughest days in Elite Series history, looking for 6 pounds, 7 ounces. 10 pounds, 6 ounces! 10 pounds, 6 ounces!
Chris Lane started this 4th and final day in the catbird seat, perfectly poised to win, and then nothing fired for him all day long until he makes one solitary decision. Chris Lane's case, yet again, it's the absolute right one. 7 wins now for Chris Lane. And Mark Zona, when we think about the 6 wins he had coming in here, 5 of them have happened in the last 5 years. That's true momentum.
I want you really to rewind 10 years ago. We talked about it. This was an angler that struggled brutally, and we did not know if he was going to make it on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Well, in the last 3 years, Chris Lane has joined the ranks of one of the best closers that we have ever covered. Guys like Van Dam, Denny Brower, Davey Height. Chris Lane is now in that ring. And the other side is Bobby Lane, his brother, was always known as he's the hammer in the family. That's the hammer right there. And I'm not going to lie. I love it.
I hear you. I'm with you on that. Absolutely. Chris Lane now, top of the list, Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Mike McClelland second. Aaron Martin's in third. Of course, it's important to get off to a great start, but let's remember, 2 years ago, Aaron Martin's finished in the 80s here and still not Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. So anything can happen in this season. Next stop is Guntersville. What in the world is going to happen there?
Here's the best way to put it. I look forward to standing here with you in a few weeks because that will be the home run derby of the century of the year.
Not
made no sense right there.
Not to be missed. We'll see you then.